Hi, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you have my first ever tag. Now, no one tagged me in this. Hardly anyone knows I have a channel, but it's one of those, I don't think people like specifically tag all that much anymore. Who knows? Maybe just not in the loop. It's one of those tags that pretty much everybody does, and that is the end of the year tag. Now, I was not able to find the original creator of this, so I just Googled it and I found a booktuber who I actually don't watch, and I just clicked on it to get the list of questions, which I will put in the description down below. If I find the original creator, I will also link that down below. So I do have the questions written down, so I will be looking down to read the questions and then back up to answer them. Question 1. Are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Normally, this would be a no, because if I start a book, I generally don't put it down until I finish it. But there are 2 books this year that I am still in the middle of, and I started later on in the year. The first of those is actually on my October TBR, so hopefully by the time you see this video, I will have finished this book, and that is Like Birds in a Cage. I don't know why I stopped reading it actively, because I was really excited and really enjoying it. Part of me felt, I guess, nervous to get back into it, and I didn't want to spend the effort that this book deserved, because already you can see this is very early in the month. But I've already tabbed a whole bunch. And part of me was just like, oh, I just want to be able to read and knock it off and not spend more time in depth and with analyzing this book. But I do plan to finish that before the end of the year. The other book, there are reasons why I haven't finished that, and that is Arcanum Unbounded. Now, I could have started this and read straight through, but that's not how you do it, because I hadn't read the specific Cosmere books that you needed to for certain things. Like if I had read The Lost Metal before I had read certain books in Era 2, it would not have worked. I have about halfway to go in this book. I think I took the bookmark out. I don't know why I would have done that. But I finished The Lost Metal. That's the last that I finished in here. I keep saying The Lost Metal, but I mean Mistborn's Secret History. So I'm about this far into the book. I actually think I'm going to skip the graphic novel White Sand pages, simply because I did pre-order the bind up of those, which I have no idea when it's actually coming. But then I will need to get into the rest of them, and a lot of them I need to read some more of the Stormlight Archive books before I get to that. There is one specifically in here that I just need to finish, Words of Radiance, to get to that. But I do plan to finish this. Question number 2. Do you have an autumnal book to transition you into the end of the year? No, I don't seasonally read. I'm not someone who picks up thrillers or romance in the summer and wintry books in the winter, or horror books in the fall, or etc. I read whatever I want to read at any time in the year, so I don't have a specific book to transition me into a new season. Question number 3. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? And prior to this year, I probably would have said no. I don't necessarily pay attention to releases all that often. However, I have gotten into the game. I do still have a few pre-orders out, but my problem is I pre-order them and then I forget about them, because part of it's the surprise of getting the book in and being like, oh man, I forgot I pre-ordered this. I'm so excited to have this. I love that idea. But I do have a specific book to mention, and you will notice a theme to a lot of the books mentioned in this video, and that is The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. I keep saying the Lost Metal for the Mistborn Secret History. I've done it in so many videos. I am really excited for this book to come out, because I have mentioned in previous videos that Bands of Mourning is my favorite Sanderson book right now. Obviously, I'm only part way into the second book of Stormlight Archive, so that may be downgraded, but I love Era 2. I love Era 1, I love Era 2, so I'm really excited to see how he's going to conclude it in this 4th book. I'm torn though. I haven't pre-ordered it yet because I want it in paperback to match my other books, but I don't want to wait to read it. So we shall see. Number 4. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I'm glad that they put a number on this, because usually they're like, are there any books that you want to read before the end of the year? And I'd be like, yes, let me turn you so that you can see my TBR stack. I would like to read all of those books. However, I did select 3 books. Again, they continue in the theme. We have The Dark Talent, Brandon Sanderson. That's Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. Book 3 in the Stormlight Archive. Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. Book 4 in the Stormlight Archive. The reason I picked these 3 books is because one of my reading goals for the year is to finish all of Brandon Sanderson's works, except for the series that I have decided to put out of my mind, can't even remember the name of. I want to finish all of his books before next year, when his secret projects and all those boxes start coming out. So technically that would be more than 3 books, because that would include The Lost Metal to finish Mistborn Era 2, as well as the 6th Alcatraz vs. the Evil Librarians book, which is also coming out November, I believe. Those are the ones that I want to finish this year for sure. All of those others I could finish whenever. Technically, I could also add another 5 books to this list, because I kind of want to finish Realm of the Elderlings as well. And I've got 2 more in the Rainwild Chronicles and all of the Fist and the Fools trilogy. Those are the ones that I want to finish before the end of the year. Question number 5. Is there a book that could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Yes, there always is. I try to keep an open mind going into books. I have always had trouble thinking about what would I do for a 5-star prediction, because even though I know my tastes, I'm very wary and I go into things with low expectations. So on the same note, The Lost Metal could definitely be a 5-star. Would it really surprise me? I don't know that it would surprise me, because I love Bands of Mourning so much and I love Sanderson's works so much, but it could become a favorite of the year by the end of the year. Any of the Fist and the Fool trilogy books could also do that. Any book I read from here to the end. Some of the books that I read for the Goodreads Choice Award project that I plan to do again this year could also do it. I'm never going to say never. So maybe there could be an amazing book coming up in the end of the year. Maybe an amazing book is waiting right over here off screen in my TBR piles. Number 6 and last question of this tag. Have you already started making reading plans for next year? Yes, I am a planner. I have always been a planner. That's what a lot of people know about me. I make lists upon lists upon lists. I love checking things off. So of course, I've already been thinking about reading plans for next year. I have some videos about my book buying bingo. I have started to put things in these bowls that you see behind me. I don't even remember what some of these are. Like this one is just general fiction books. I think that one is nonfiction or arcs. And this one over here is series. I have plans for the goals that I want to achieve with those books, how I want to achieve them, the types of reviews that I want to be able to write, and the types of videos that I want to be able to make. Because even though not a lot of people watch my videos, I really do enjoy making them, and I enjoy spending the time on these certain things. Thanks so much for watching my first ever tag. I hope to see you in the next one.